Well, I want to thank the gentleman from Arizona for pulling us together from around the four corners to honor these incredible Native Americans, these incredible Americans, especially on this historic anniversary. And I'm certainly honored to join my colleagues tonight to honor the quiet valor of all the Navajo code talkers. Today, some 6 decades since their service during World War II, only one of the original 29 code talkers, Corporal Chester Nez, survives. And I am incredibly proud of Corporal Nez, who at the age of 90 resides in my congressional district in Albuquerque with his son Mike, his daughter-in-law Rita, and their children. Corporal Nez's story is much like the hundreds of code talkers who followed in his footsteps. He grew up on the Navajo Nation, the parents who grew corn and pinto beans, kept goats and sheep, and he grew up in a time when Navajos were sharply mistreated and even unable to vote in our own elections in places throughout the Southwest. Yet in 1942, at the age of 18, he sprung into action and he joined the 382nd Platoon in a role that is largely credited with saving thousands of American lives. Along with the other 28 original code talkers, Corporal Nez developed a code from their unwritten language. You can find the code's explanation today in the index of his autobiography. Whether in artillery, tanks, aboard ships, or in infantry, the code talkers played a vital role in some of the worst battles of the Pacific Theater, communicating battlefield codes that were never, ever broken by the enemy. Their code talking was considered so essential to the war that, unlike their counterparts, many of them were forced to serve straight through the war with no breaks for rest, trips back home, and today we widely recognize that their service helped turn the course of World War II. Yet because of the sheer secret nature of their role and the possibility that they'd be called back for the same duty in the future, the actions of the code talkers weren't declassified until 23 years after the war ended. And it wasn't until 55 years later that they were bestowed with the Congressional Gold Medal of Honor and Silver Medal. To the young people of the Navajo Nation, for whom Corporal Nez's quiet valor is a remarkable example, I encourage you to carry on his legacy by keeping the Navajo language alive and well for generations to come. Mr. Speaker, I know that the Navajo Nation takes such pride in these heroes, and on behalf of all of us who owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to their service, I'm proud to recognize the courage, service, and bravery of all the Navajo code talkers, and especially Corporal Nez of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I yield back to my friend from Arizona.
I thank the gentleman from New Mexico for that fine. Now I'd like to acknowledge my good friend from Arizona, Mr.